see how the zoo roll? You see how they roll? I will read it for you, so you will know. My fellow soldiers should battlefield for killing Boko Haram fighters. A soldier is reporting. A former Nigerian soldier has alleged that he was shot by his fellow soldiers on the battlefield for killing too many Boko Haram fighters. That is your country? Hey, we want a restructuring. We want to shuffle. We need a new security architecture. People talking rubbish. Talking nonsense every day on their useless TV stations. Rubbish every morning and evening. That is what they do. Never ever address the issues. Why are you recruiting terrorists into the army? Nobody can answer that. Nobody can. They're saying they can be president if they want to be. That is how they are. Zoo for you. Zoological Republic. Because when you see a black person and you feel that they are reasonable and they're educated, they are polished, they're enlightened, as soon as you begin to engage them in a conversation, you become disappointed. You notice how empty and vacuous they are. Black people, there is something wrong with a lot of them. Something fundamentally wrong with their reasoning process. I'm telling you the truth. And as this whole nonsense is going on, the national agenda is gathering momentum. It doesn't matter how much they loot. It doesn't matter how much they steal from you. Their agenda is still going on. The agenda is still going on in this zoo animals. The agenda is still on. And what is the agenda? I'm going to please publish the list of all retired, those who have retired a few days ago. 90% of them are Southerners. Those of them that voted for APC from the West, this is your handiwork. Well done. They retired, many of them. Major General Ude, Ilo, Ijoma, Kejimai, Akem, Atewe, Wiwa, Ali, Kole Osom, Aliyu, Agachi, Okonkwo. These are Brigadier General Okonkwo retired. Brigadier General Ogidi retired. All retired from the army. They are preparing for complete takeover and onslaught. We know about all these things. But what are we doing about it? The zoo is there. Zoological Republic is still there. You will see people that come, hey, let's say our nation is 2023. Who is going to be president? And I wonder what type of planet these people are inhabiting. Look at your zoo. All your generals are being retired from the army. All of them. Look at the list. Is there. Please, Amaka, try and publish it. The list is here for all to see. Everybody. Nicholas Achinze. That was the Dasukism ADC. Colonel retired. All of them. Oh, very, very sad indeed. These are people that spent decades deceiving everybody, that Biafra is a bad thing, Igbo man is out to dominate everybody. Today, they are not only dominating you, they are also killing you on top of it. That is Fulani for you. They spent years deceiving all of you. Bendel, Niger Delta, South, Midwest, Upper West, Middle Belt, gerrymandering and cutting people up into pieces, whereas they are busy planning. Every day they are planning. Every house to take you over. And those of us, I will say those of us from the South, because that's the development I'll talk about that later on. Those of us from the South, always messing about and, of course, allowing our envious nature to get the best part of us. Here it is now. Who's going to save you? This Fulani presidency, they have, as somebody said, they have serially, deceitfully, and masterfully completed the configuration of the entire zoo security structure. They have now placed it firmly in the hands of northern Muslims, Fulani alone, to the exclusion of every other ethnic bloc in Nigeria. Yet people that went to school cannot see this as a problem. They don't see it as a problem. That's how sad they are. Now, let me tell you something that you don't know. Can you imagine this being Jonathan's administration? Hey, by now, every Biafran in the north would have been beheaded by now. Let me call them out for you so you know. Those who are responsible for the mess in the zoo and why they place their men in all key positions. Chief of Army Staff is from the north, Muslim. Fulani, forget Hausa Fulani. There is nothing like Hausa Fulani. Hausa Fulani people are vassals to the Fulani people. Hausa is vassal to the Fulani. They are nothing. Please, don't say Hausa Fulani, it's Fulani. Police Inspector General of Police, Police IG, Northern, Muslim, Fulani. Minister for Defense, Northern, Muslim, Fulani. Minister for, these are heavy portfolios. Minister for Internal Affairs, Northern, Muslim, Fulani. National Security Advisor, Northern, Muslim, Fulani. DSS, DSS, that's the Director General of DSS, the Secret Police, Northern, Muslim, Fulani. The Chief of Staff, Northern, Muslim, Fulani. APC to President, Northern, Muslim, Fulani. The Chief Security Officer to President, Northern, Muslim, Fulani. Protocol to President, Northern, Muslim, Fulani. Private Secretary to the President, Northern, Muslim, Fulani. DG Customs, Northern, Muslim, Fulani. DG EFCC, the one that just suspended, Northern, Muslim, Fulani. DG Nigeria Prisons, Northern, Muslim, Fulani. DG Immigration, Northern, Muslim, Fulani. Minister for Petroleum, Northern, Muslim, Fulani. Minister for FCT, Northern, Muslim, Fulani. And you are still in one Nigeria, yes? Are you all part of the same one Nigeria? Funny, foolish people. You're not only funny, but you're very foolish. You Nigerians, Niger people. You're not only funny, you're very, very foolish. Look at it. If this had been Jonathan's administration or maybe Obasanjo, hey, you won't come outside the next day. But here you are. And people are defending this. People are defending this. Oh, black people in this UG. Black. Let me tell you something, please. Amaka also published this very one. There was an intercepted telegram. The M branch, our own IPOB intelligence, the very best there is. It's just because we don't have a state. The very best, I tell you. We intercepted a secure communication between an army officer in the field and the zoo defense headquarters over the mess going on in the Fulani-controlled north, in the phony war against Fulani terrorism. It's not Boko Haram or ISIL, it is Fulani terrorism. That's what you're fighting, Fulani terrorism. Fulani corrupt feudal lords fighting Fulani terrorism, they themselves create. That's what's happening. They say our army is in the northwest fighting insurgency. No? Who created the insurgency? Fulani. Who are the insurgents of Fulani? Who are the terrorists of Fulani Muslims? That's who they are. And who are the ones fighting them? Okay, Fulani officers, but with southern recruits, the ones who are being killed. This is a letter. I will try to read this letter for that. Please, Amaka, publish it. It's a highly classified document. I think they'll be wondering, they shouldn't wonder anymore. I know what happens inside Asorok. Is it defense headquarters that I will not know? I know everything. We know everything. Listen. Sir, this is a communication from an officer in the field to defense headquarters in Abuja. From Maiduguri to Abuja. Listen very carefully, please. Sir, terrorist ambush. You know, it's a telegram. That's a full stop. At about 0714 0714108. That's what they, Army code. July 20. Troops of Sector 2 were ambushed by suspected terrorists at Bulabulin in Gamboa local government area. Full stop. 2X, which is 2 teams of reinforcement, were dispatched to the scene. Full stop. The first team confirmed the details at the scene, while the second team linked up and returned to the camp. Own cars, as Chief of Army Staff, OWN, killed in action 23 soldiers. Wounded in action, 1 times 2 soldiers, whatever that means. Missing in action, unconfirmed. Many of them are missing, taken prisoner or taken hostage by Boko Haram. However, the WIA, wounded in action WIA, are currently being stabilized at the brigade FBAMB. I don't know what that means. Brigade FBAMB. We will need to analyze this more. While some are those who are seriously injured are undergoing operations. Further details later. Now, number two. The army is now, according to the telegram, advancing into the Timbuktu Triangle. He's saying advance into the Timbuktu Triangle is becoming cumbersome now that the rain is at top gear. It's rainy season there, so the rain is falling there. Coincidentally, terrorist elements have reinforced their defenses to halt the advance and any army incursions into the area. Unfortunately, troops ambushed by daylight shows the level of preparation by ISWA, no longer Boko Haram. Listen carefully. They lie to you always. They tell it is Boko Haram they're fighting. No, they're fighting ISWA. And who is ISWA? ISWA is Al-Badawi, the son of the Boko Haram founder. And this was the boy, the same boy was going to court the same time that I was going to court in 2016. This boy was arrested. Al-Badawi was arrested. This was the boy that Buhari himself recruited. I don't know why people are so daft. Buhari himself recruited this very boy to split Boko Haram. No matter whatever, when they find you very difficult, they try to split you by forming groups. They brought out this boy to challenge Shekau. Shekau was too strong. You know what Buhari did? Buhari now said, you people should not attack mosques or civilians, only attack non-believers, infidels, and the army. That was his comment. Do you know what happened to this boy when he was in court? He was released from High Court in Abuja in broad daylight. He was not tried, he was released. Buhari asked for this boy to be released. He gave him his own command, his own terrorist group, ISWA. They aligned with ISIS because Buhari was a very big fan of ISIS. Ask yourself, why was this boy taken to court in Abuja and released? Whereas those who are agitating for freedom without any guns or bombs are still being detained. Ask yourself that question. He came out. He is not the one now fighting them back. Can you see it here? It's not Boko Haram, but ISWA. And the man is now warning that the commander is now telling DHQ, Defense Headquarters Abuja, that this should not be taken lightly. Troops were also ambushed at Komala Axis on June 20th, and 11 soldiers were killed while escorting commuter vehicles. Please, Amaka, publish the pictures of those dead soldiers that the world may know. That IPOB intelligence is one in town. Publish their pictures because we have them. Publish it, that the world may know how formidable we are. Please note, listen on. Please note, number of IED incidents have also increased, suggesting that ISWA, that's ISIS, are initial available means to frustrate troops' incursions. As such, it is requested that air raids are initiated within the Boa axis to hit hard and neutralize reinforced terrorist camps and what they may have carted away. Do you know that? They defeat the army and they take the army equipment from the zoo. Are you aware of that? So I'm telling America and Britain, because they're all listening, all that equipment you provide to the Nigerian army, they are now in the hands of ISIS in West Africa, ISWA. Because it's here, confirmed by the army. This is a telegram of the army. It's secret, but I have it. We have it. We are IPOB. And there is nothing they do we don't know. And they know it. Here it is. It's bad. But you can see that the people who are actually bad is ISIS, not Boko Haram. You can see it here from the telegram. This could also, now they are now asking for bombing raids to be carried out in their own land in the north. Remember what I told you in the year 2012? I told you in the year 2012 that everything that Biafra endured during the war, that our enemies will go through it. Today they are in IDP camps. They are suffering from malnutrition. They are being raped. There are women in IDP camps, yes, and they are now dropping bombs. The same thing they did, but they are now dropping bombs in the lands of the north. Everything that I told you. Everything that I told you about. And he said, number 3, respectfully forwarded for your information and necessary action, sir. This is from the battlefield to defense headquarters. And we intercepted it. We have their pictures and we have this very telegram as well. Or should I say dispatch. And if you add to all this nonsense you have seen, Fulani at the helm of every security outfit, yet look at the scale of insecurity. And Britain is not talking. Nobody is saying anything. No, not at all. Because it's their favorite child who is in the name of their favorite tribe that is in power. Fulani, they cannot do it. To the British, the Fulani cannot do any wrong. They can kill everybody. Britain will say it's farmer header clash. Or a natural phenomenon. That's what they will say. Unbelievable. Add to all of these things, the head of the National Assembly or Senate is a northern Muslim. The head of judiciary is a northern Muslim. The head of the courts of appeal, northern Muslim. And you're still in the zoo, shouting one Nigeria. Shame on to all of you. All of you. Why is it that some people do not see anything bad in this arrangement and in this development? Why can't people see something bad in it? The answer, in my own reckoning, is in the DNA of a black man. The satanic nature of a black man. Always gravitating towards evil. Always gravitating towards evil. Anywhere you see evil, you see a black man. You see them supporting evil. Shamefully and, should I say, hopelessly supporting evil. Look at this one. Nigeria, created by the British and given to you. I'm a proud Nigerian. I'm from Nigeria. I'm proud. Did you create Nigeria? It was created. It was created by the British. Not you. It is now DNA. Now, the full intention of the Fulani presidency is now clear for everybody to see. Is it in the lopsided arrangement? Is it in their overbearing domination of every apparatus of state? Every department they are there. I call it modern day Fulani colonialism. And some of you cannot see. Every day you come, you are begging them, oh, why don't you give us one slot? Give us one position now. And the funniest thing is that they are doing all these things without any recognized head of state. There is nobody who is the president. There is no vice. When was the last time you saw Sibajo? Nobody can tell me till today. You all know that very well, don't you? Fulani, they are doing all of these things to you without head of state. Imagine when they have a proper head of state, what they would do to all of you. Now, do you understand? Now, do you understand? Now you know, don't you? That is how they roll. That is how the zoo operate. That is how they roll. The zoo military, Fulani, they are getting ready for their full-scale jihad. They are still using the Buhari regime. They are Mr. President. When I hear people talk about Mr. President, I get very sick. The cowardly southern political class is doing exactly as they are told, because it was the Janjaweed that brought them out. It was Fulani that brought all of them. They decide who goes and who doesn't. Look at Imo State, for example. Tells you all you need to know about this zoo. About this zoo. Oh dear. The day black people, supposedly educated black men, accepted to answer the name nigger as a name was the day we sealed our miserable fate. Nigeria. I wonder what was there. As if he went to school in America. He was in America. So he should have known what the word nigger meant. He came back, he said, I want to be the president of Nigeria. Very sad indeed. Only Biafra can save the black race. And this is the reason why Satan, and agents are doing their best to distract us. They are doing their best to stop us. But they will continue to fail very woefully. Woefully, they will fail, as they have always failed. The zoo Nigerians, they think mere rhetoric can save them. Talking about presidency, let us restructure. They know. They have conveniently forgotten that this rogue Fulani regime means evil for everybody. you will all suffer and die in it unless you reason and become sensible now, not tomorrow. Now, not tomorrow. They control customs. Why did they control that? Let us tell you, somebody did a very good job. In fact, Dr. Abaziambe, that was what he wrote as his name. Let me tell you, he did a very beautiful work. Let me explain to you why they control you, why they have Fulani has control over your lives. I'm telling you, for some of you, the level of control that Fulani has over your lives, I don't think any other thing has it. I'm telling you the truth. Listen, the Fulani, they control the customs so they can bring in weapons of war all the way to Kaduna Dry Port. That was why they did. They planned it very well, El-Rufai and the dead Buhari. They planned it very well and they're executing it now. Dry Port in Kaduna. They control immigration so they can bring in as many Fulani fighters from across West Africa and North Africa as possible. They control the police so there will be no investigation and enforcement of laws against killer Fulani headsmen. They control the National Assembly so there will be no adverse parliamentary proceedings against them. They control the DSS so that if you talk, they will shut you down. They control the judiciary so that once your case reaches the Supreme Court, it is dead. They control the army so that if you fight back, they will use federal resources to baton dance you. They control the executive branch so they can dip into the national treasury to fund the Fulanization of Nigeria. They control the Ministry of Information so they can control what you hear and set up their own radio station. They control that the South stays divided. What other proof do you need? What other proof do you need, I ask you? None whatsoever. Now, to make matters worse, some of you may have forgotten, but it's our job to remind you. You keep forgetting, we keep reminding you. The Fulani, I'm going to quote verbatim, a statement by the Fulani Nationality Movement issued in Kanu as a press statement on Saturday, January 13, 2018. You have all forgotten, but we have not. So we're going to remind you. Now, this is what the media really said. The Fulani Nationality Movement, FUNAM, F-U-N-A-M, impressions on the state of the nation, we hereby make the following declaration. These are Fulani people, your fellow Nigerians, all of you are your beautiful zoo together playing catch me and kill me with them. This is what they're saying, your fellow Nigerians. That we have asked all Fulani across West Africa to raise money and arms to prosecute the oncoming war. We call on all Fulanis to prepare for this holy war. There is no going back. All over the world, Nigeria is the only country given to Fulani by God. That the cattle colony is the only solution to this crisis. Whether the federal government or state governments accept or not, we have asked all Fulani headsmen all over West Africa to move to Nigeria and penetrate every corner for the upcoming jihad. We have asked them to be armed, since it seems it is the only language Nigeria understands. A statement by Fulani Nationality Movement, FUNA, Saturday, January 13, 2018. And you would think, some will say, oh no, it's propaganda. Oh, they leave IPOB. They are always doing their propaganda. They are casting the government in a bad light. You know, when they go out, they go to Vietnam, they tell the Vietnamese government, don't allow IPOB here. They're giving us, I'll get to that later. They're giving us problems. But that thing they said, the Fulani said in 2018, here now, in that same 2018, you know what they did? Benue belongs to Fulani headsmen by a right of conquest, according to Daily Post. So you will not accuse IPOB. You will not say it is a Biafran newspaper. No. It's from a Nigerian newspaper. Benue belongs to Fulani headsmen by right of conquest. Professor Muhammad. And the people from Benue are still, they wake up in the morning and they say one Nigeria. And you're telling me that people are that well? Can you see it? They said to the people, come and conquer. They have come and they have conquered. It is, they have come and they have conquered. Yes, as somebody said, they are playing Russian roulette, catch me and kill me. That's what we are doing with Fulani terrorists. If they catch you, if you're lucky, they behead you or they kill you, and the zoo continues the next day. The next news will come. Let us look at maybe brother, or let us look at how things are going. How this celebrity is doing what? Confusing all of you, and you're being eaten up alive by the day. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Who is responsible for this? Somebody from Middle Belt. It was God that laid the foundation for the disease that everybody is suffering today. We are the architects of our own misfortune. Today, Middle Belt is in trouble. They are turning it upside down. And who brought it about? A Middle Beltan, somebody from Go on, a Christian for that matter. Look at the zoo today and where it is. We condone evil. I keep saying it. In fact, every morning and evening, those that pray to God, every black person, you must keep praying every blessed day. God, remove evil tendencies from my heart. God, remove jealousy. God, remove envy. God, remove wickedness. I'm a black man. Remove evil from me. I'm telling you the truth. Every blessed day. I'm telling you. Because we support evil. As I said before, we naturally gravitate towards iniquity. That is why the black race is backwards. And that is why it will continue until we change, until our brain, the way we reason, changes. Fulani are playing games with all of you. You don't know. I kept quiet for 7 days. They thought, oh, he's gone. Oh, now let us try and even accelerate our wickedness and our evil. It's God one that caused it. We are now on the verge today of total conquest because of a mistake that Britain made. Certain racists in the British colonial establishment, including the BBC, and to a lesser extent now, even today, BBC, they have continuously reinforced the superiority complex of neocolonialists. They denigrate, they very subtly, they insult and they demean you without anybody knowing. You think they're doing you a favor? Of course not. Very cleverly, of course, I read in England, so I know their tricks. Very cleverly, they'll be insulting you and putting you down, but you will not know. And I tell you to an Afro place, you will not know. Like a house rat. As they are chewing the sole of your feet, they are blowing you, please. So you won't feel a thing. The thing we don't know, of course we know. Why do you think IPOB is as strong as we are? Because we know everything. We know all their games. We know the games that they are playing. That is why today, when you hear about Zamfara, people are selling their houses to bandits in Zamfara. According to an emir, the emir of Kuzo, people are selling their houses to bandits in Zamfara. Bandits are now landlords. Who are bandits? These are Fulani terrorists from Mauritania, from Mali, just name it, from everywhere they have come. And you're still tomorrow morning. Nigeria, we need to reposition Nigeria. We need to restructure. When you know the solution lies in the complete dissolution of the damnable contraption. Black people are evil. If not that the black people are evil, there is no way learned people, educated people can wake up to this rubbish every blessed day. Every blessed day, the same nonsense, the same garbage, no light, no water, no hospitals, no good schools, no jobs. You graduate, you come out, you have nothing, no hope, nothing whatsoever. And you still say you're Nigeria. God have mercy on your ignorance. Unbelievable. Bandits are now landlords. In Kuzo, Fulani owns Benue by right, and be wasting your time. And what happened to the others in history will also happen to you. It will happen to you. Evil every blessed day. Please tell me how many Nigerian soldiers, Nigerian soldiers were killed in Katsina. This is not Meduguri, not Borno. In Katsina, the same hard man. The general, no nonsense. You know, I remember when Tinubu was promoting Buhari before 2015 election. He's a hard man, a general, a no nonsense general. but in his state of Katsina, the late no-nonsense general, Fulani terrorists, probably maybe from within or from outside, nobody knows, have now ambushed their Fulani terrorist also soldiers and killed 16 of them. Terrorists on terrorists. That's what is happening now. One is in uniform, one is in Islamic garb of outfit. Terror, fighting terror in the zoo in Katsina. And nobody has been sacked, nobody removed, nobody called to resign, nothing. Imagine if it was Ihejika as the chief of army staff and the terrorists will ambush Nigerian soldiers 16 and kill them in Katsina. Hey, they will burn his house down. They will kill his whole family. But this rubbish is happening every blessed day. And what do? You keep quiet. Soldiers, zoo soldiers, 16 dead in Katsina. Hey, black people in this UG, black. There's something wrong with you people. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you, black people. Your reasoning capacity is zero. Absolute zero. Absolute zero. And who caused all this nonsense is the amalgamation of the North and the South. The white man came without regard for anybody. Lugard came and said, Yoruba land, I'll divide you into two. Half will be in Dahomey, which is a Benin Republic, and half will be in the zoo. And your name is now Nigeria. And I keep asking this very simple question. There is a Yoruba person in Porto Novo, in Benin Republic, and a Yoruba man in Badagry. And they speak the same language, they eat the same food, everything is the same culture, the same, everything is the same. And you divide them into, this is one thing about colonialism I don't understand. No. You have a white man travel all the way from Scotland, look at, come to your land, Yoruba land, and cut you into two, and say one of you, your name is now Dahomey, the Benin Republic, subsequently, and the other one, you are Nigerians, and you accepted it. And that same white man now said, you that is a Yoruba man, Oduduwa man in Odua, man in Badagry, you are related to one Ahmed Kaparafi from Kanem Empire. Does that make sense to anybody? And that is trying to understand the level of black man's intellectualism. It doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. Now that the whole world is saying Black Lives Matter and reviewing all the atrocities of colonialism, why is it not possible for us now to say no? That even the Oduduwa people in Benin Republic and the Oduduwa people in the Sioux, Nigeria, they are all white people. What is wrong with that, I ask? What is wrong? I ask. Is Lugard that caused all this problem? Today, people are saying, was the amalgamation of northern and southern Nigeria in 1914 a mistake? Of course it was a mistake. Who doesn't know it was a mistake? Oil and water can never mix. Can never, not now, not tomorrow, not ever. That is why there is no progress. That is why nothing is happening. That is why people graduate, come out of school with no jobs. Do you know the most frightening thing of all is that these graduates without a job, they are not even moved. They are not angry. They are not upset. They just get on with life and prayer and fasting. Why do you need to keep the zoo as one, knowing fully well that the amalgamation was a mistake? Why do you need to keep the zoo as one, knowing fully well that dividing people and conquering and ruling them the same way that the colonialists did was a very bad thing? Why can't we understand that? And in the midst of all of these things, in the midst of all this evil, you would think that something good will come somehow, maybe one day, but no. What is happening? Who? Remember the list I gave you before, or I rolled out before, about those who are in power, where they come from? Are they not all Fulani people? Now listen, how Nigerian government officials diverted $800 million from secret oil sale. Who are the people that did this, Fulani? No EFCC, none whatsoever. The same people. Now, former NNPC, I'm just reading you only the headlines. I don't want to disturb you too much because I'll take some calls in a minute. Former NNPC boss Yakubu claims 98% of over 3.8 billion found in his house are gifts. Cash, 3.8 billion. Cash. Where is he from? He's from the north. His name is Andrew Yakubu. Are you following? One Nigeria. Are you following in this whole one Nigeria garbage? How they are squandering money left, right, and center. But there is EFCC and anti-graft. He is fighting. Nigeria is winning the war, or should I say Nigeria is winning the war on corruption. The anti-corruption crusade. They have now received a certificate from Mozambique that they are doing very well. Rubbish. All nonsense. All garbage. 100 million barrels of crude oil shipped to China, sold for $800 million, shared by the late Abakiyari, Malam, Maikantibaru, and others. All Fulani. This oil is the reason why they want one Nigeria. And the most painful part is that we are obliging them. We are allowing them to get away with murder. That is what I don't understand. How can God create a people to become so submissively docile that all this impunity is happening day after day and they do nothing? And Elizabeth is in jail. And these are the people, they say in billions. Look at them, Fulani. And they want to go and arrest somebody in Igbo. And they're calling all sorts of names for defending a defenseless woman. So if they will arrest the lady and take her away, and those that received $800 million will be the ones prosecuting her. You people are sick in the brain. You people are mad. People are mad. Who are the ones going to do the prosecuting? The same people that sold oil to China, pocketed $800 million. Yes. Of course, the zoo has fallen. And they know it. That is why before we come on, they panic. They know the whole world is listening. And they are worth nothing before the whole world. They are worth nothing. $800 million. Not naira, dollars. And you're in one Nigeria. Shame on all of you. Who is going to probe the oil fraud? Who is going to probe? One person said, so somebody tells Buhari, ask for probe. Which Buhari, I ask you? Which Buhari? The one that can address the public or the one who cannot? Is it the one with the hole in the neck or the one that looks like a 25-year-old boy? What is wrong with you people? Keep deceiving yourselves. Keep lying to yourselves. Zoo animals everywhere. Zoological republic. Keep deceiving yourselves. Who is going to probe who? $800 million missing. And Olusegun is in jail. For 400 million naira they gave him to run PDP campaign. This is the beginning. This is crumbling left, right, and center, and they know it. Don't they know it? Of course they do. All the yappers, they will have something to yap about very soon. They will yap. They will run out of oxygen because we will give them something to yap about very, very soon. Look at the zoo falling and collapsing every day. They won't talk about it. 800 million missing. These are the idiots begging for foreign aid, grant. They will go to World Bank, give us loan. They go to IMF, give us loan. But meanwhile, that is one thing about black people. Meanwhile, the money you have inside, you are siphoning. You're stealing it. You can see for yourselves. Can you see it? Can you see it? Fulani in power. Don't worry, in 2093, you people will vote for them again. By that time, we'll be out anyway. I have no time for these idiots. They think we have to put up with this rubbish. Is this how a nation is supposed to function, a country? I'm asking you. Is this how a country is supposed to function? Some of you cannot answer. You can't answer, can you? crude oil being shipped all over the place, asking for who's going to investigate who? Who? Is it Fulani? Investigating Fulani? How is that possible? How is that possible, I ask you? That these are a bunch of illiterates. Illiterates, they know nothing. If they were intellectuals, maybe I can enjoy it. They are nothing. They are nothing, absolutely nothing. Only to steal. Only to steal. Only to steal. Only to loot. The only thing Fulani knows is to loot. To loot. Every blessed day stealing and killing. That's all they do. Kill and steal. That's all they do. And you idiots are talking about one Nigeria. One Nigeria. Useless set of people. One of the few people that speaks up, that speaks the truth, His Eminence, and Cardinal Anthony Olubumi Okoche has spoken. He has decried the level of corruption going on. He is crying over corruption. Of course, the man that I respect very much, His Eminence. He's crying over corruption. Him and Kuka of Bishop Kuka is very outspoken man that I have regard for. They are crying over the level of corruption in the country. But mind you, that in 2015, the Obama and everybody said, we need Buhari in order to fight corruption. Today, His Eminence is crying over corruption. Everybody is crying over corruption. So what have they been doing for 5 years? Buhari before he died and those who are ruling in his name. Black people. Black. He is saying this. Nigeria is supposed to be waging war on corruption. But they are more corrupt than the war. Those who are waging war on corruption are the ones selling crude oil and pocketing $800 million. And they are fighting corruption in the zoo. In the zoo. In the zoo. Unbelievable. Very, very sad indeed. In a statement, Okoje said EFCC is supposed to be part of the solution to the problem of corruption, but the twist of events has shown that the war on corruption has been lost. EFCC are now themselves corrupt. They came to fight corruption, but they are now themselves corrupt. Then why is Olusegun still in prison? I ask. All those who are keeping quiet, all those Igbo men and women who are keeping quiet over Olusegun. You see how the Fulanis are defending their own? They steal, they loot, they kill, and they defend their own. Only you people yapping rubbish all the time. As one brother wrote very eloquently, he said there are saboteurs everywhere, that every ethnic group have their own saboteurs, but there is something special about an Igbo Sabo. that an Igbo saboteur is a special breed altogether. Maybe I'll try and publish that very brilliant piece he wrote. I don't know what his name is, somebody sent it to me. He said everywhere you have saboteurs, but Igbo Sabo is very special. Very, very clean and special. That his own Sabo is spiritual. Spiritual saboteur. What drives him or her, he doesn't know. He or she wouldn't know. But sabotage is in their system. That is why an Igbo Sabo is very deadly. I've asked some of you before to go and watch the film Tears of the Sun. I keep saying this thing every blessed year. About Biafra. Go and try and watch it. And after watching that movie, I watched it in a movie theater in London. After watching that very movie, I came out, I think that was about 1997 or thereabout, that movie came out. Do you know, after watching that movie, I asked myself, how is it that Hollywood, of all people, Bruce Willis, how come the scriptwriter knows that Igbo people are saboteurs? How it comes to them naturally. In that very movie, a Hollywood movie, the Sabo there betraying Ojukwu is an Igbo man. In a Hollywood movie. That tells you all you need to know. He was there. And they asked him, he was shot dead, of course. They asked him, why are you betraying your head of state? He said, because his family was being held in Lagos. Go and watch that movie. In fact, Chinasa, all of you, go and look for Tears of the Sun. Cut out that bit where the Sabo was confessing. The Sabo was an Igbo man who was confessing. Go and bring it out and let the whole world see it. So that all the Sabo you're seeing today, they are all, by nature, they are there. If Hollywood knows, then so should you. But we are IPOB now. We have frustrated them into oblivion. The soul is adrift. The genesis of the problem was the amalgamation. Those that said, oh, we love it, many rainbow nation, many cultures, diversity, talking rubbish. Look at the diversity. It's bringing you death, corruption, looting, suffering, pain, poverty, disease. You can't see it. Maybe your family is benefiting from the loot, or maybe you're one of those they gave an oil well to, and you're yapping rubbish and defending evil. You will defend evil because you're a black man. It is in your nature as a black person to defend evil. It is in your nature. And so, as we were discussing, I had a very important meeting earlier today, and as we were discussing about Sabo and their spread around where we come from, and the fact of the matter is this. Our people are very, very competitive by nature, but they don't know when they stray from being competitive to being very jealous. And most Igbo men are given or prone to jealousy because they are naturally competitive. They say to themselves, oh, that man who is there, I wish I'm the one who is there, or I wish it's my son or my daughter who is doing it. And from there, wanting to be there, which is a very legitimate aspiration, to better yourself, to be somebody you are not. And once they find out that they cannot meet that very standard, they go into sabotage. That's the way they are. It's in their nature. Nobody can take that away from an Igbo man. It's how they are. That's how they are wired. If they try to be like you and they cannot be like you, the next thing is envy. And another thing is, what do I do to bring him down to my level? That's the way they are. It's in their nature. You can't take it away from them. That's how they are. That IPOB is one very strong family. Indivisible and unbreakable. Unbreakable. And at last somebody has spoken. And spoken the truth that everybody wants to hear. Professor, a man that I have respect for as well, Professor Banji Akintoye. And I wish they can facilitate this Oduduwa Republic very quickly. They are the ones I want to work with. Those in Oduduwa, pursuing Oduduwa, are the people that I want to work with. Not just telling me about restructuring and fixing Nigeria now. Those Oduduwa people that are pursuing Oduduwa Republic, they are the ones I want to work with. No other group. Professor Akintoye said restructuring is not the solution. Of course not. It is not and can never be. He has spoken. I believe our leaders from the four zones are very fair, Ohanese, Bandef, and Middle Belt Forum, who have put this forward, believe that it was a way of compelling Buhari, of course, a dead man, to at least effect some structural reforms in the system. But it hasn't happened. And he has no hope that they asked him, you mean that restructuring is no longer a solution to Nigeria's problem? He said yes, because it's too late. We have passed beyond the point of politics. A section of the country is actually trying to conquer the other part of the country, and this is Senodua man saying this. He's the one saying this, not me, a professor. Akintoye. He's the one saying this, not Nnamdi, no, of course not. I'm only quoting him what he said. Restructuring is the argument of politics. It is not a response to war. The Fulanis have brought war, and you're discussing politics, and they are conquering you. They are cutting up your daughters into pieces, and you cannot see it. Sabo is blind. Sabo can never see it. They cut up your daughters in your villages, and they spread the parts all over the place. Sabo, can you see? No, you can't. Professor Akintoye is telling you that the Fulanis are speaking the language of war. And you, with your stupid restructuring, you are speaking the language of politics. Who do you think will win? I like what he said so much. I love it. I love the words he used. You don't use the language of politics to address a war situation. That is why they are conquering all of you, one after the other. And that is why the Sioux, in desperation, are now targeting IPOB family members in Vietnam, because we are all over the world. And it is also a source of envy for people that IPOB, we are the largest mass movement in the world. When we march, the earth shakes, of course. Who doesn't know that? Who doesn't know that? Our people in Vietnam, I received this very correspondence that our people in Vietnam are in very great danger, because people working in the Zoo embassy in Hanoi are conniving with the Vietnamese government, bribing them and giving them money. They sell all this illicit oil. They have promised to give oil to Vietnam, so they can start the deportation of our people, so they can start the imprisonment of Biafrans in Vietnam. They sent pictures to the Vietnamese immigration and police. And some of our people were invited to immigration office in Ho Chi Minh City and forced to sign an undertaking stating that there will be no more IPOB activities in Vietnam, or that our insignia should not be showed. And we are going to take them to court in Vietnam. We are going to get a top human rights lawyer, will take them to court in Vietnam. It is their country, yes. But Biafra must exist. Is it not the same Vietnam that fought USA? You fought France and USA for your independence, didn't you? Vietnam. That now you want to come and support you for. It cannot happen. We'll take them to court in their own land. And that's what we're going to do. And I have a very, I would want to, some clarifications, I would say, on what is actually happening in the West. Because we have our coordinator, Nnamdi, who is the coordinator of the Western region, and I want to bring him to tell the whole world what is happening. The whole world is actually listening. Nnamdi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening from here, sir.
Good evening to you. Can you tell us precisely what is happening in the Western region and how you intend to fix it?
Okay. In the Western region, we've been having some challenges, though we've also measured some level of success so far.
What are those challenges you're having? Hold on. What are those challenges you're having?
Okay, the challenges we're having, it seems to be like some people have decided to have a parallel government in the West here as a result of the previous leader. And these people are just working on their own differently and going against every instruction that comes from the leadership.
Now hold on for a second. Let me go back to our opening this very evening about black people and lack of discipline. If your administration is over, or for some reason your services are required, you go away quietly. You may be recalled the next day. Some of you are so daft and so foolish. Do you know how many times our Biafran national coordinator was suspended from IPOB? Is our national coordinator today? Do you know how many times Amarachi Giftibe was suspended? Look at her position today. What is wrong with you people? If your tenure is over, it is over. You hand over everything. I don't want you people to compel me to use force on you as stupid black people who cannot reason. Once your tenure is over, you hand over. And that's the end of it. Tomorrow you may be recalled to come and serve. Biafra is not going to be like the Sioux or any other useless African country where somebody serves and at the end of their tenure, to go will be a problem. There will be no parallel government in Lagos. And as we are speaking today, you come back next week Sunday. If it persists, I will expel them from IPOB. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir.
Is that it? Do you have anything else to tell us about what is happening in the West?
Apart from Lagos State, the Edo State coordinator has just got himself off from the leadership of the West. He told me emphatically that
state coordinator is an old boy. He's one of us from the beginning. And I saw him as a hardcore. Instruct the relevant line managers to be able to look into this very matter. And I would suggest you refer it to the Conflict Resolution Committee so they can hear both sides of the story. You have said what's happened. Then when he goes to the Conflict Resolution Committee, there he will tell us exactly why he adopted the position that he adopted. But I must make it very, very clear that people must be loyal and obedient to their superior, because IPOB is a mass movement under strict command and control rules. You must obey your superior, and they understand that, and that is what will happen. And as I said, you will refer this very matter to the Conflict Resolution Committee, and there they will look into it and come to a resolution within the next 7 days. Thank you very much for being with us, and continue the very wonderful work that you're doing. That is Tarinemi. And as I said earlier, it was my intention to try and open the lines for a little bit to see if our people may have one or two contributions to make. If you have anything to say, you can say that now, or you can call our lines now as usual. And the time now is approximately 12 minutes past 9 p.m. in the land of Biafra. If you have anything to say, or should I say any contribution to make, you are at liberty to do so. But I must also announce this very evening, very, very critically, please, I must announce that our people in Canada, I must say what they have done. The caller on the line, they can't stay where you are, the caller on the line. I must announce this very evening what our people in Canada are doing. They are doing very well, fantastically well. But as I have said, Madam Nnamdi must have access to every IPOB account everywhere in the whole world, so we know what is happening. We don't want what happened to us in the USA before to happen to us again, where criminals took over our proceeds and decided to go and work for the zoo instead. We are not going to make that mistake. So Madam Nnamdi must have access. Our sister Nnamdi must have access to every account. But I want to recognize this very evening the Igbo Diaspora Development Agency in Canada. I repeat, Igbo Diaspora Development Agency, for their contribution of $12,000 to the coffers of IPOB to support what we are doing. We commend them extensively, and some people also in the USA, they are now waking up. As you can see, I no longer have terrible things to say about the USA because our people are waking up. A lot of them are now coming up to do the needful. So USA and Canada, they are now waking up, and we are encouraging and asking them to do even more. We thank all of you. We thank all of you, please. Very, very important. And I have also a very special announcement to make. This is an instruction. It is a direct order. It is an order. It is an instruction that from tonight, all attacks against our Oduduwa brethren, all attacks against Yoruba people must cease with immediate effect. As I told you, I had a very important meeting earlier today. Very critical meeting. In the next few days, you will hear the details. And in that meeting, we resolved that we are going to work together as a people. And I am asking henceforth, with immediate effect, every attack, verbal or otherwise, against Oduduwa entities or personalities will cease. Despite every provocation, you are not allowed to respond or to retaliate, but where a baseless allegation has been leveled against us, endeavor to respond to it by confining yourself to addressing those issues raised and not attacking the personality. Very, very important. You understand this evening, please. I know that the Janjaweed, the Fulani Caliphate, they will go and create many fake accounts with Yoruba names to try to provoke us, to attack us. Our focus is on Asorok, to make sure we crumble the zoo this year. As I told you before, if we fail to crumble the zoo in this 2020, it is our fault. We must crumble it this year. Our focus is on Asorok and to crumble the zoo. Very, very important, very, very critical. You are not to attack any Yoruba person or their entities. It is an order. from me this evening. It should cease henceforth. It should cease henceforth. Please, I had a very high-level critical meeting with Yoruba stakeholders. Sorry, Oduduwa, I don't want to use the word Yoruba. With Oduwa stakeholders. And they are pursuing what we are pursuing. And we cannot be seen to be antagonistic towards one another, because the Fulanis are the ones laughing and rubbing their hands with glee. We cannot give them that opportunity anymore. As simple as that. I have a caller on the line. That caller, are you still there? And can you, for goodness sake, hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, my leader.
Please, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Biafra Effiong. I'm calling from British Columbia, Canada.
From British Columbia, you're Biafra Effiong. Where do you come from in Biafra land, please?
I came from Misrata in Akwa Ibom, Biafra land.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead. We're listening. Go ahead. You have gone silent. Yes, go ahead.
I love you so much, my leader. I've been following you for so long time, 2012 till today. I've been a person that I met you before when I was in Malaysia. You have been a great man, and God have used you to celebrate the whole world. I love you, and there is no person can block this or can stop this movement. My leader, you are the man that God sent, and you told us that this struggle is wider than snow. And I believe that I have been working with my own capacity to make sure this Biafra restoration comes to reality. I was the one who started the IPOB in Philippines.
Wow.
I started the IPOB in Philippines before I now hand over, before I moved down to Canada. So the Philippines is working strong.
Yes, it is.
So I've been assistant coordinator here in British Columbia. But my leader, I follow you because of what you said. I didn't follow you because of I just follow. I don't want to go to the details, but I just want to thank you, and I'm overwhelmed to speak with you. But there's a small thing I want to beg you, please.
Go ahead.
Because maybe a child or that might not like to follow your instruction. They might be causing confusion.
Yes.
Now, Akwa Ibom State is having a very big problem, which you might not know the details. I call my family because I even put the radio Biafra satellite in my compound there, and also have some information there. My family has given me information. So the Akwa Ibom has problem with coordinator issues. My family is reporting to me very bad, and I don't want to put my people in the danger. So please, they said they don't want the coordinator that is working now. It's causing a lot of problems. They don't want to work with anybody. And they even write him a letter asking him to work with every other. I personally see every other coordinator that has signed that letter. I also signed with my hands. This guy refused to work with anybody. See, today, he doesn't want to work with anybody. My leader, please, I know this Biafra we want is democracy. It is not something that people will say, this person we don't want. And they will force that person to be. I don't know. We don't want something that happened to Imo State. When they force Oguzodinma give Imo people. Now, the Akwa Ibom said they don't want this guy. This person don't want to work with anybody. My leader, I'm begging you, I'm on my knee. I cannot work for Biafra to restore. Then my own Biafra. I was expecting Akwa Ibom Biafra to be even more stronger than Abia State or any other part of Akwa Ibom. The second in command was Philip Effiong. He was a man that I love so much, and God raised you. God raised you. The people were saying that, hey, you cannot follow Igbo man. Igbo man always do all those things. But God stand with you. They give you everything you refuse. And that idiot they call Iruanya. I could remember regulation of IPOB that if they suspended him, he will go to the floor member. But today, Irwanya is causing confusion. Irwanya is causing problem everywhere because he was suspended. I am Biafra if I'm speaking. I know him. If you can play back, if they can play back that he was speaking from 2013 to 2014, you will hear him very clear. How do we know Irwanya? We know that idiot from Radio Biafra. He was nobody. He was nobody. He was nobody.
Let me tell you one thing about saboteur. A saboteur doesn't have relevance. If you mention a saboteur's name, you give them relevance. So just ignore every saboteur you may have come across. Our work, we are on schedule. Our work is going on. It is unstoppable. Don't mind it. You have them. I said there was a Hollywood movie. I want everyone to go and watch Tears of the Sun. In that Hollywood movie, the only saboteur there was an Igbo man. So don't be surprised. My happiness is that God in heaven structured IPOB in such a way that it's unbreakable. It doesn't matter who you are. You live, and IPOB continues to wax strong. Since IPOB did not fall when I was detained, illegally, did not fall when I was in prison, did not fall when they came to kill me. Oh, come on. Nothing can stop IPOB. I thank you very much, my dear brother. I have heard what you've said, and we are going to do the best we can to resolve the issues in Akwa Ibom as one family. Akwa Ibom is very strong. Very, very strong. I have a caller again on the line. That caller, can you hear me? This is Radio Biafra. We are live and direct. Please go ahead. No. You are listening to your system, and I don't like it. When you call us, you don't listen to your system. Please, you don't do that. I have a caller on the other line. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, raise your voice, your name, and where you're calling from, please.
Mazi, good morning from here. My name is Okebram Chedos here from Umuaka. Umuaka is in Olu.
Yes.
In Imo State, Biafra.
Please go ahead.
I'm speaking from India.
From India?
Greater Noida, India.
Wonderful.
Yes. Yeah, Mazi, first of all, I want to thank you. Because I keep saying it every time I draw strength from what you say, from your teachings, history, and everything. Sometimes people ask me, why am I so mad about Biafra? Why am I follow this man? Even whatever he says, I deem it to be true. I told him that, listen, as a human being, when you lose those two relevant, nothing benefits. And this is what this man has brought back. This is what has triggered the mind of every young Biafra. We are following him because he can give us what nobody can give us. When somebody brings your history back to you, which is what is going to give you relevance, there's no way you can build without your history. You must know where you're coming from. And Mazi, you have tried enough to trace back our history that is older than 5,000 years to us and make us understand where we come from. And that is what we are proud of. That the first democracy in the world.
Of course.
The world was witnessed in Biafra.
Of course. Biafra, the first democracy in the world, of course.
These are things that when you look at it, you become proud of where you come from. An American can die under the flag of the USA because they know their history.
Yes.
The reason why nobody can talk about Nigeria, nobody is proud of Nigeria is because Nigeria don't have a history. And there's no way you can maintain a place that doesn't have history.
It doesn't have history. It doesn't have history. You cannot come from Africa and you don't have history. Oh, your history starts from 1914. And Africa is supposed to be one of the oldest places on this very earth. And your history is only from 1914. It doesn't make any sense at all. And that is why they are afraid of us. That is why we are learned. That is why our enemies are afraid. And that is why we are unstoppable. We are unstoppable. I have said it before. Do not respond to Sabo. Don't respond to them. They're irrelevant. Without mentioning IPOB, Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, they're irrelevant. In fact, without mentioning Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB, they're irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant. Don't give them time and mentioning the names of idiots who do not matter. Irrelevant people. Please, very, very critical. We understand that. I have this caller again on the line. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Mazi, thank you and I congratulate you so much. My name is Usasu. I'm an IPOB under the banner of Uwasofia. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Yeah, good. Thank you very much for your work. So I cannot just go much deep, but...
and where are you from, please? Where are you from in Biafra land? Where are you from?
I am Edo State.
Which part of Edo? Let me go. Thank you very much.
Benin City, precisely.
Thank you.
But I reside in Italy.
You are in Italy. So what do you say to people from Benin who may not have embraced Biafra entirely? What do you say to them? You couldn't meet with the people, that is. What do you say to them?
There are many are ready to embrace it, but they are still very much afraid because they know the history of their monarchy, or let me put it that way if I'm not mistaken. You understand?
I know
many embrace it, but they are afraid. You understand? Gradually, we are doing the work. We and our sister Uwasofia. You understand?
Yes, Owa is doing very well. Uwasofia is doing very, very well. And I want to encourage her to continue her work. Uwasofia is doing very, very well. Efe is doing very, very well. Tamono is doing very, very well. Our people, those of you, Darlington, all of you who are coming out, Biafra child, all of you are doing very well. And also Simon Epa, all of you who are coming out every day, they're doing very well. Please go ahead.
Please let me talk a little bit.
Go ahead.
This man, what's his name? I forgot his name. Please, it is my own opinion I want to give you a little bit. The leader should look into his matter because it looks to be coordinated very good in Edo State. You know, Edo State is so very sensitive. You understand?
Yes.
And he know much of Edo State. So when looking into his matter, you must look to his matter in a way that he understood Edo very well.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, I know. I understand what you're saying.
So that this can work well there. You understand?
Yes.
It's long I've heard of him anyway. I've never talked with him anyway. But just because of our past working hand to hand together, I'm even planning now that each time I go to Edo State, I will see him and we will visit some other place that will even enhance or enrich the movement of IPOB. You understand?
Very well.
But I will be saying that I still want to encourage you a little more that you should not distract and no matter the circumstances, we are behind you. No matter the obstacles, no matter the deceit, or no matter the frustration the enemy would like to cause, we are solidly behind you. You understand?
Of course, I know that. How many are there? How many are there? And thank you very much. I've heard what you've said and also your counsel. I have a caller on the line. This caller, can you please?
I can hear you, Mazi. My name is Chupu Emmanuel Ike Chupu. I'm calling from South Africa, the coordinator of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, KZN.
Thank you very much. You're welcome to the program. Please go ahead.
Mazi, you made me a happy man on the singular tweet you made last week. You say that you are going to martial out plans to stop the Janjaweed access to the oil money.
Of course.
Please, that thing you said have made me a happy man. Since I joined IPOB, I've been following you and I've been doing whatever you ask us to do. But that your singular tweet have made me to submit my soul into the IPOB. I've been submitting my body. I'm pleading you in the name of Chukwukikabiama to facilitate your plan.
I will. And you will see what will happen this year. You will hear it.
Thank you.
You will see it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, my dear. And the whole world will understand how serious we are. They will know how formidable we are. Very soon, of course. You'll be on the run. I have a caller on the line. This caller, give us your name and where you're calling from, if you may.
Hello, my name is Mr. Robert Unable. I'm from MPC and I'm calling from Texas.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to commend you for the great job you are doing. You have really proven to us, the Igbos, that we have a leader. And they've also made us to understand that what we are going through right now will ultimately come to an end. You know, I commend your strategy. Forget about all those people, you know, who appears to be gullible. That's why I refer to them, or who are kind of parochial. Because going by what I think Lord Lugard, the book he wrote, Dodua Mandate in Tropical Africa, he referred to us as people who live by the moment and who don't have any apprehension for the future. But I'm glad that today, with you, you have proven to the whole world that we are far-sighted people. You know, we know where we're heading to. You know,
of course.
I was born during the Civil War, so I understand what it means. So when people who are not part of that tragedy talks, you know, I pity them. You know.
Yes.
So don't divulge your strategy to own anybody anything. Keep on planning what you're planning. We're strongly behind you.
Of course, I know that.
You know,
I have no doubt.
We are strongly behind you. So the Sabbath projects, you said, it's just their existence is just temporary. You know, if you give them attention, you give them relevance.
That's
you know, we are helping with respect to that because so many of our people appears not to understand the agenda of the Fulanese. You know,
yes.
So, I mean, taking you back on history, in 1967, I have the clip. Ojubu, after the Aburi Accord was asked,
yes,
what he feels and the plans of the Fulanis, he said that their agenda never changes.
It never.
The only thing is that they change the strategy.
Never. The agenda is the same for Fulani. Always the same, to conquer, to subdue and to subjugate.
Yeah. They change their tactics from time to time. You know. Now with the corruption scandal that have been merged themselves into, that trying to find a way to divert attention, thereby focusing right now on what is happening in NDDC. That's a strategy.
Of course.
That's a strategy.
Of course.
So we have to keep on mobilizing our people so that we be on guard, we be on alert. You know, to prevent them from castrating, because I'm quoting the word of Ojubu. He said that what they want is to practically castrate.
And that's what I have done. That is why, that was why in Imo State, in your state, because you're from Mbise, that was why they managed to plant somebody from the 4th position into number 1. That is an absolute castration of Imo State as a whole, not just one individual. I thank you, my dear brother, for calling. I have somebody on the other line, that very person. Are you still there and can you hear me?
Yes, Mazi, Nnamdi. This is, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, please go ahead.
Okay, my name is Moses Arimado. I'm from Ngobala in Imo State. I'm calling you from Ohio, United States of America. And they were one name.
Very much. Thank you. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Well, for the matter of this forum, this platform, I have few questions for you before I go into my main question or contribution this evening. Please bear with me. You ascertained that Elohim sent you. Am I correct?
Who else could have said? How could I have survived if not for it?
No, go with me.
Yes.
I'm with you all the way.
Yes, of course, of course.
All right.
Yes.
You are also in agreement that you operate by the directives of El Shaddai. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. And also, good. Now, if
you look at the laws and instructions given to Moses in Torah. Elohim made it clear to Moses what the expectations were for the children of Israel. Yes. And in terms of, murder, in terms of kidnapping, instead of it made it clear. Now, I am appealing to my Biafran brothers and sisters that the kingdom of God is at hand. When Biafra comes, there will be no nonsense. There will be no room. We are going to follow the Torah. We are going to follow the law of Elohim. We are going to do things according to the children of God. Therefore, we are not going to have time. Our money is not going to be used to build prisons for criminals. Our money, if we are to build prisons, is going to be for those that committed minor misdemeanor, like traffic offenders, or those are not paying child support. But for criminals, for those that looted our treasury, for those nobody can loot treasury if you don't even have money to loot. Because our balance is the way somebody do it you are in Ohio. If you go to Times Square in America, you see how much America has in their Federal Reserve, how much they have borrowed, and how much interest they're paying back. That's how it's going to be in Biafra. There'll be no money to steal from anywhere. If anybody steals money in Biafra land, you'll be tried and you'll be hanged in your father's compound. The nearest street your father, you'll be hanged at that very place. Biafra cannot be like any other useless African country. It can never be. That is what I'm getting at. That is why we are going to use their bodies to feed our fishes in the ocean, because there's no room to put them in prison. For what? Why should we condone evil? We cannot keep them. There's no room for them to be prisoned well, so that we can entertain them and use our money and feed them. No, we will use their bodies and feed our fishes in the ocean. Now, this is the time. All Biafran people must repent now. The kingdom of God is at hand before Biafra comes, because there will be no mercy. This is not a joke. We cannot tolerate what is happening in Zoo in the holy land. It can't happen. God is my witness. It can never happen. And my dear brother, I thank you. I thank you very, very much for your call. I thank you very much. Biafra land, we are not going to condone any nonsense. You must be dreaming. If you think you're good with siren, you know there'll be no siren in Biafra land except ambulance, police. Only ambulance, police, and who else will have ambulance, and fire service. Only. Even the head of state, there'll be no siren for you, because you'll be like any other person. There'll be no siren in Biafra land for anybody, commissioner, your governor. Rubbish. You are like any of us. So any day you mess up, we take you out of office. If you say you won't go, we'll drag you out of that place. There'll be no armed escort. No siren for anybody except for fire service, for police, and for ambulance. If you don't know, anybody thinking that Biafra is going to be like the zoo, then you're dreaming. You better stay in your useless zoological republic. The caller on the line, can you hear me? The world is listening. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hello, Mazi, good evening, sir.
Good evening to you.
My name is Mazi, calling from Germany.
Go ahead. Chimezie, go ahead.
Yeah. Mazi, I don't know if our people have committed any of that make many countries treating us bad anyhow.
No. It is not enough. It is what the zoo is. That's what they do best. It is called castration, as our brother quite rightly said from the caller from Texas. It is called, that is what the Fulani does. You don't know Fulani. People don't know these people. We know them very well. That is what they do. They instigate. They go behind the back and they instigate. That's what Fulani does. That's what they do. That is why tonight they will not be happy. Tonight that I have announced that from now going forward, we are no longer going to attack any Yoruba. No Oduduwa person will be attacked. You see, they won't be happy about it. That's who they are. They instigate. Please go ahead.
And then I don't have much to say, but only that maybe things I need to stay, but I don't.
Then try and call me off air, please. When I'm off air, you can call. Maybe that is the best way for us to proceed. I thank you very, very much for calling, my dear brother. I thank you very much. I have another caller on the line. Let me see if I can get hold of them. This caller on the line, can you hear me? If so, give us your name and where you're calling from. For the last time, the caller on the line, can you hear me? No, they cannot hear me. The caller on the line, can you hear me? Your name and where you're calling from? No, they cannot hear me either. And that brings us to the end of tonight's program. It brings us to the end of tonight's program. Somebody is still trying to call. Let's see if we can get the caller on the line. Can you hear me?
Good evening, Mazi.
Good evening to you. Please, your name. Raise your voice. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Okay, my name is Shitu. Shitu Oladapo. I'm in Zimbabwe.
Please go ahead, Shitu.
I'm a massive fan of.
You're welcome to the program. Shitu, go ahead. We're listening.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I would like to say I really like what you're doing with IPOB and the struggle. It has opened the eyes of a lot of us. But what I notice is that Biafra needs to focus on the people of the Niger Delta. That's 13% that the Janjaweed are giving to them. Is what they feel they can. They feel they are okay with it. You understand?
Yes.
Even a Yoruba person, I engage with people from the so-called Niger Delta.
Yes.
I tell them that why don't you want Biafra? They'll be like, no, Igbo will dominate us, all that rubbish. And because they are getting 13%, so I don't know. I think IPOB needs to look on the Niger Delta.
We have the thing is that we don't have any Niger Delta to start with, Shitu. And which state do you come from in Yoruba land? Which state do you come from?
I'm from Kwara State. We are one of the oppressed people.
Oh my goodness!
I'm a Yoruba man from Kwara State.
Oh my! Your situation is even worse than most of us.
I'm also a massive fan. I'm also a follower of Uche for your deputy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. At least this is one thing that I like about certain people in life. Despite everything we have said in the past about the Oduduwa people in Kwara State, people still can see beyond the rhetoric to get to the actual substance of what we are saying in Radio Biafra. That is for the benefit of everybody. To us, my dear brother, we don't have anything like Niger Delta. They don't exist. Opobo is Igbo land. It doesn't exist. It does not. We are all the same people. We have different languages, sometimes a slight variation in culture, but every ethnic group will be on their own in Biafra land. Nobody will have the right to go into another ethnic group to tell them what to do. So all the debate and argument about domination doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. You know, if tomorrow...
Do you know that no Igbo man even signed the amalgamation of Nigeria?
Of course, we know that. We know.
In Biafra land, it was only the Obong of Calabar.
Yes, that is true. That is true. We never signed, and we have a document. We have a document that they actually segregated later. Ibegu, my clan, where I come from, we never signed. So I can go to court and convincingly argue that Ibegu is not a part of Nigeria because we have all those that signed. We know all the warrant chiefs that signed. Ibegu was not one of them. We never signed up to anything at all. So you are right. But we know what the British have done and what they will continue to do to us. But I don't know why I picked that very call, and you say it's a Yoruba person from Kwara State, Oduwa person from Kwara State. Unbelievable. I don't know what touched me to pick that very call. I thank him very much for calling. And on a day that I announced it, that nobody is allowed anymore to attack or to malign a Yoruba person and a Oduduwa person, never. Because we are going to work together. And not like before. This very generation is different from the past. and big things are going to happen. Just watch this space. I thank you all very much for listening to us this very evening. And as always, you must take home with you what we have preached. That is why we are as formidable as we are. Indestructible. This very family of heaven itself, IPOB. That is why we say with every ounce of conviction that Biafra to some people may just be a nation, to others it may be a metaphor for something that we don't understand, but to us it is our religion. And here on Radio Biafra is where we worship, because Adonai El Shaddai is our God. From me, from here, it is good evening. Another Savior.